It's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talk with Larry Hice about the GM Student Corp. Yep, there is such a thing. Konrad has the In-Wheel Time Car Clinic, and we'll also have this week's Auto News just ahead. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Konrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be alive, isn't it?
Weather permitting.
Yeah, weather permitting. All right, let's get to our next guest right away, shall we? He is with the GM Student Corps. His name is Larry Hice. Larry, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Well,
y'all look really good there.
Oh, gosh.
Listen, I knew we were going to have you on, and I put my makeup on and everything. So I'm glad you caught that.
All color coordinated, too. We got red and white and
blue and black.
That is.
Yankee Doodle.
Like a bad bruise is what we are. That's it. So, Larry, for those of us that really have never heard of the GM Student Corps, why don't we start off with you explaining to us exactly what that is?
Okay. This program was birthed back in 2012 as an idea from at that time, the president of GM North America, Mark Royce. 2 years prior to that, the GM Foundation had donated $27.1 million through the United Way to the Southeast Michigan school system, and it hopes to increase graduation rates up to 80%. Mr. Royce decided that he wanted to do more than just write checks. He wanted to put boots on the ground, and so he contacted a couple of us old retired guys and said, I got this idea, would you come and talk to us? So a small group of us met periodically for about a year, and together we put together the concept of the GM Student Corps. We went out to mostly inner city schools in the Detroit area, recruited the administration from those schools to help us with this program. And basically the program for the last 10 years, our first year was really 2013, has been each school provides a number of students, usually ranges between 8 and 10 students. We pair those students with a college intern, which we recruit college interns, GM does, interviews them, takes them through stuff. It's part of their intern program. And then we pair them with 2 GM retirees, and for 6 to 8 weeks in the summer, depending on school schedules, they do community service projects in and around their schools. They learn, as we tell the kids when on the first day, this is not summer camp. You're not going to go canoe riding or sit around the campfire and eat s'mores. This is a job. The students are paid. This year they were paid $15 an hour. They work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 7 to 8 hours per day. They cooperatively decide what projects they want to do in and around their schools and their communities. And they have a great time as well. They learn, they earn, and they lead. That's really the 3 mantras that we have for the program.
Is the goal to bring them into under the GM umbrella, maybe working in an assembly plant or whatever?
No, not really. Our goal is to help them learn what it is to have a job, help them learn what punctual means, help them learn what discipline means. There isn't any long-term goal to hire any of these students, although that has happened. We've had high school students who were interns become then college interns, and then at the end of their college, they've actually been hired by GM. We probably have, I'm going to say 5 or 6 of the students that have been through the program who now work for General Motors.
Wow. So the projects they're working on around the school, I mean, that's not focused on automotive. That's just to help their community. Community service.
Absolutely. It's a community service-based program. You know, I want to say up front also, GM doesn't have to do this program. This is not the investment that this program takes is not insignificant. You've got salaries, you've got project costs, you've got meal costs. It's a substantial amount of money. GM, just like any company, is responsible for the bottom line and responsible for returning a return on investment. The return on investment for GM Student Corp is all about building community and allowing people, young people who have never experienced some of the things that we take them through, to experience those things. We take them through a lot of life skills training, how to have a bank account, we have etiquette training for them. We take them through how to apply for college scholarships. We encourage them, take them to trade schools. It's as you can tell, I'm passionate about the program, and I love it.
Do the students, are they all gathered together and working on a singular project around the school, wherever that may be in the Detroit area, or are they all split up and doing different tasks?
We have 15 schools involved in the program, 13 in Metro Detroit, one in Pontiac, and one in Flint. They individually decide what projects they want to do around their school. And then on occasion, not every year, but on occasion, we bring them all together at if we get a chance to do a big project somewhere, like clean up a park or something, we'll bring them all together. We have 2 or 3 occasions throughout the year, throughout the time period, that we bring all the students together for things like Finance Day. We bring them in and we talk to them about checking accounts and saving accounts and how to be responsible for their funds. And then we have Showcase Day, which is at the end of the program, and they get an opportunity to tell GM employees and executives what they've done for the summer. Mostly they're in their groups at their schools and in their community.
So, I hate to interrupt. Larry, you said in the beginning that you're working with the school administrators to have them with their buy-in on the program. Do they look for, say, at-risk students or students that are maybe a little more advanced? How does that work? How do they pick or choose or put youngsters or young people into the program?
That's a great question, and we struggle with it every year because this is not a social welfare program. Our retirees are not trained social workers. We can't handle kids that are at risk, and that's not the purpose of the program. We encourage the schools to select their students based on academic performance, attendance performance, attitude. I encourage the retirees to get involved with the school in the selection process for the students, do interviews, meet with the students that are interested in the program. This is not an at-risk type program.
Okay.
And the students are working in school districts that they grew up in, though, too, correct?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
they have a little bit more knowledge of what's going on internally as a student looking out, hopefully to see more of the need as a student that they can serve.
And they can use those folks as recruiters as well.
Right.
Absolutely. We have, in almost every school, the students we select are usually rising seniors or rising juniors. We like to get a couple of rising juniors so that they can help us recruit their teammates for the next summer.
Makes sense.
How many students are there? I mean, what's the selection process like? Say, for instance, at XYZ High School, we're going to allow 5, 10 people into the program. So what's the selection process? Do the kids have to apply for the program?
It varies from school to school, but basically overall, it's an application type process. We try to get to each school while that's going on. We make little speeches, which you can tell I'm not bashful about making speeches, and tell them what the program is. I would tell you that we have schools where we'll have 50 students come out and want to be in part of this program. And we have some schools where it's like pulling teeth. We have to really work to get the number of students we want. It just varies. And the other factor that influences all that is the administration. As you might imagine, there's a lot of turnover, especially at inner city schools, in terms of counselors and principals and assistant principals. So we just get started with one school, and then we go back to next year, and we got a whole new crew of folks to work with. So it's not as easy as it sounds. It's difficult from time to time to make sure we get the right students selected.
So do you have like a limitation for that school? Say you do have 50 people apply.
It's always just whatever the program. Like in the first 8 years, we selected 10 students per school. Now we're at 8. We want 8 students per school.
And is there an alumni? No, I don't know how to ask this correctly, but you've had 10 years of 8 to 10 students per school. Who tracks what those alumni have accomplished in their life? Because you are giving ultimately life-changing skills to some of these students that not only can aspire to improve themselves, but you're giving them those skills to improve themselves. So who follows the alumni after they leave the program?
I wish I could tell you that we have a really robust tracking system, but we don't. It gets really difficult to track these students unless they have an interest in being tracked. You know, they go off to school, their first semester, and in a lot of cases we just lose track of them. They either don't stay in school or they go off and do something else. I wish it was better, but really I would tell you that probably less than 20% of the students that we've tracked. I would say we've probably had 1,000 plus students in this program since the beginning, and I would say probably less than 20% we're actively engaged with at this point.
But
I wish it was better, but it's not.
Yeah, but even at that, even if the things that you're teaching these kids, because they are still kids, even at juniors and seniors, about checking accounts and banking accounts. I mean, that's the kind of things they need to know that they're not getting a lot of times because whether their environment and the school is definitely not teaching them. I was shocked to find out my 18-year-old granddaughter the other day didn't know how to pump gas in her car. Her mom's always done it for her. Okay, we need to do something here.
Call Grandpa.
Well,
so we do those kinds of things. We teach them not just life skills, but real world skills, everyday skills.
So even though you don't keep track of them, you've impacted every one of them that's gone through your program. You had to have at least some to give them those skills. I mean, you just can't be exposed without it.
Is this specifically to Detroit, or is this in other cities across the country?
Just Detroit.
This is only in the Detroit area, and that's purposely because this is where we have a large GM retiree pool to pull from. So
got a lot of resources.
I'd love to see it expand, but it's not really practical.
No, but it certainly is something that companies in the certain cities around the United States, I mean, Houston is loaded with certainly oil-related companies here.
Definitely.
That would be something for them to look at in the communities in where they are headquartered.
Engineering and stuff, yeah.
Austin's got a ton of big business.
And like you said earlier, Larry, it's, yes, GM has a responsibility to its shareholders to make money, but GM also has a responsibility to its community to give back.
Yep.
And that's what this program's doing, is giving back to the community and giving back to the children of the community who, my opinion, I would say of the 1,000 that you've had gone through the program, I would say way north of 85% of them, their lives have vastly improved by going through such a program, through the life skills that you've given
Back
them.
to the tracking part of this, Larry, and that is, do you know these kids that you have in the program, once they graduate from high school, do you have a percentage that you know actually go on to college? Whether they stay or not doesn't make any difference in the question. It's just, do they actually pursue a higher education because of the program?
My sense is the answer is positive. Yes, they do. but I can't give you any specific
Right.
numbers on it. But I would tell you probably 80-85% at least start college.
Wow.
Now, whether they, there's a huge drop off after the first semester of colleges, but you have to remember that, as we are in the news and everything else right now, college is expensive. It's real expensive. And these students they're not, as we always say, they're not mentally challenged or intellectually challenged. They're just resource challenged. These students, I have schools where these students, out of 10 students, 9 of them live in a home without either parent. They're living with grandma or their aunt or something like that. So these are students that are resource challenged, but they are wonderful students and they're wonderful kids.
And what I know of you as a mentor, this is an emotional experience for you as well.
Very. I will tell you, over the 10 years, I've had more than one time where I got something in my eyes. So
Hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and to add to that, I would imagine that there's a great sense of satisfaction with the people that you have in the program as far as mentors or teachers, whatever they may be called. That has to be a lot of satisfaction with these, because the kids want to be in the program, unlike so many students that are going to high school that don't even want to be in high school. Right. Mm-hmm. So there's that to begin with, and there's got to be a sense of satisfaction to all the retirees that are working the program.
Well, I think the proof of that is that probably 60% of the people, the retirees on my team now, 60, maybe 70% have been in the program since day one.
Oh wow!
And I also want to. And I also want to
get. Now the problem with that is that we're all 10 years older.
Yeah.
And it's a little tougher to get to bend down and pick up and all the other stuff that you have to do. But we keep doing it.
Well, hang in there.
And I want to give a big thank you to Larry as well. Larry and a crew of his came to Houston 5 years ago to help rebuild after Harvey.
Oh, wonderful.
Very nice.
So,
very good.
Thanks again, Larry.
Larry, great guy, great interview. Thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck in your program. Check in with us at the spring. Let's find out how you've done this year.
We're going to sign Mike up for
Enjoy
the
it.
course.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
You
you.
bet.
Larry Hice, GM Student
Very
Corp.
interesting.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. Our address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for Konrad's Car Clinic. Do you have a car clinic
Of
today?
course, I always have a car clinic.
Yeah, sometimes we don't always get to it because we run a little long.
So useless car features automakers got away with.
Yeah.
What?
So think about some of them.
Curb feelers.
Well, but were those weren't factory.
No.
Were they?
No, I don't think so.
Crank windows.
Crank windows is one of them.
Cigarette lighter.
But crank windows is one that was a necessity at the time because they didn't have any other way to raise and lower the window. Electric windows didn't happen until afterwards. You can still get crank windows today on some of the work trucks and stuff. Cigarette lighters, and
With an ashtray.
now as time has progressed and smoking cigarettes is politically incorrect, and the ashtray with it, used to be. There was a friend of mine worked in an assembly plant, and he said there were 6 ashtrays in a Cadillac Fleetwood.
Oh, yeah. I did that.
One in each side door, front and back, one in the center, and one in the center in the back. 6, and that was his job. Was he would climb in one side, put in 3 ashtrays, climb through the back seat, put in 3 ashtrays. That was his only job, was putting ashtrays.
Did each ashtray have a cigarette lighter that went with it?
The center ones did, not the side
I
ones.
assembled the striker cover in the trunk of a Cadillac. I did every third job. 3 screws.
So that means only 1 out of 3 had it.
Yeah.
There's a recall back in 19...
But think of some of the other things that were now looked back at as useless. Satellite radio began as a boom, and then the iPad come in to take off, and now satellite radio isn't as much of a need.
Antennas on that, too.
Antennas. The opulence of vehicles has gone through the roof in the past decade. BMW was in the forefront and installs a glass shift knob. Why?
Cool.
Because they look cool.
Yeah.
One of the more useless features was suicide doors. The doors that basically open from the middle.
Hence the name suicide.
Hence the name suicide. And you really think of suicide doors as being a thing of the past. Actually, Lincoln did suicide doors most recently on their Continental.
They
model.
were invented for ladies with skirts to get out of the vehicle without messing up or exposing themselves when they got out of the car.
Remember back in the 80s and 90s when the seat belts would automatically attach?
Those are fun.
Yeah, those have gone away, thank goodness. You've probably seen German and Swedish cars with tiny little windshield wipers on their headlights.
Ooh, tiny little wipers.
Oh, yeah,
Mercedes.
Yeah.
So
now they have them on the headlights.
Well, that's what I'm talking about on the headlights, yeah. So that's very much gone away. And again, the smokers. Mike Tyson had one with a phone built into the car, where it was physically, and I had an Olds Tornado that there was a phone in the center console, kind of like an old bag phone, and you'd pick it up and answer it. Now your phone just Bluetooths into the car, but
and you keep it in your pocket. I remember a Suburban that I had when mobile phones were first coming out, and went through a big process. A big to-do getting it installed in the Suburban up on the center transmission tunnel.
And there were a couple of cars that actually had coolers in them, built into them. The Dodge Caliber had a cooler, and the Pontiac Aztek, my opinion of the ugliest car General Motors ever made.
Steel dashboards.
Well, steel dashboards that was 60s, 50s. They weren't too crash-worthy.
No.
A few more other things were unusable features. Third row seating in crossovers. I know that's the bane of Don's driving a small crossover that has a third row seating, and it's basically for bilateral amputees in the back because there is no leg room, and there's no reason to have a third row seat back there because there's the seat, it comes right up.
It's kind of like
seat.
the third seat in the old Suburbans that you took out and you lost through moves that you made throughout the years, and somebody left it in the attic or whatever the case may be.
No, you put it in the garage. You use it as a seat in the garage.
And audio systems have changed. Was originally an AM radio and then an AM/FM radio. They actually had disc record players back in the 60s, and then the 8-track player, and then the cassette player, and then the CD player, and then the dual CD cassette player. And now,
the Wonder Bar.
And now virtually nothing because they depend so much on satellite and your phone. And then one of the other things that is gone is wing windows.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those went away. 67 was the last year for the wing. 67 was the last year for the wing window.
What about clear tint glass?
Oh, yeah, that probably went away back in the 70s is where they had clear glass. And you actually ordered the option of tinted windows. So useless car features automakers got away with.
Hyundai Motor America and Kia America are recalling over 250,000 vehicles here in the U.S. because of an issue with the tow hitch harness that may lead to a thermal event while parked or driving. The recall covers Hyundai Palisades and Kia Tellurides from 2020 to 2022 model years. A stop sale was issued this past Tuesday in accordance with federal regulations for affected unsold vehicles at dealers and vehicle processing centers, according to NHTSA. Two automakers are advising customers to park their vehicles outside and away from structures until repairs are completed. In both cases, debris and moisture accumulation on the tow hitch harness, printed circuit board, may cause an electrical short, which can result in a fire, according to the safety recall reports filed with NHTSA. So you can see a car going down the freeway with a fire in its tail end. You're trying to honk the horn and tell somebody, hey, man, you got a fire in the back end of the car, and they pull a gun on you going, don't be jacking with me. Okay, see ya.
Burn, baby, burn!
I was thinking the same thing.
Other recalls, vehicle rollaway from a faulty shift lever assembly mechanism. The Kia Sedona and the Kia Sorento from 2016. Coolant leak inside the EGR module may cause a fire. BMW 540D, I assume that's the diesel, for 2018. Missing weight capacity on the tire label for the Lexus RCF.
That's a compliance recall.
It's so stupid. What?
It's the gross weight.
The
Nobody
difference
ever looks at
between
that
safety
stupid
and
thing
compliance
anyway.
recalls, right?
Improper rivets on the seat belt buckle assembly. We still got this thing going on. 21 to 22 Cadillacs, Chevys, GMCs, the Escalade, the Suburban, the Tahoe, and the Yukon. Improperly tightened windshield wiper arms. Oops, there goes the windshield wiper arm on the Chrysler Pacifica and Voyager for 2022. Ford Transit
Voyager.
22.
I didn't know they still made the Voyager.
Ford Transit 2022. Rear view camera display not operating. Damaged drive shaft may fracture in the Ford F-150 for 2021 and 22. That is a major deal. Damaged lamp reflectors on the Subaru Impreza 2017 to 2019. Stop the assembly line.
Yeah.
And the Hyundai Palisade, windshield wipers may fail.
That's a bunch of Palisade recalls, isn't it?
It truly
Well, they
is.
only fail in the rain.
Yeah, that's the only time that you're going to be working.
You know,
them,
you
I
talked
think.
about the
There could be a
shifter knob.
problem
the,
down here.
The clear shifter knob. I saw one that the numbers were in Braille.
Oh yeah, there's the GM when they had the steering wheel touch. Some of the steering wheel touch controls, there were little braille
Amazing.
markings on
Same
them.
thing at ATM.
And later on, Don's going to rant about the ripoff on MSRP stickers.
Oh boy.
Oh, I've
And
posted
with
a
a-
couple of them on our
Well, with a
Facebook
couple
page.
of local dealers, as a matter of fact. One has backed off,
Shame on you.
and the other one said, it was a mistake. We didn't do it. It's all
But
MSRP
we
now.
printed 9,000
So the dealers
copies.
get caught up in it, and it catches fire on the internet as far as social media
And
is
they get
concerned.
burned.
Oh my God! Can you imagine the number of sales they lose? It's a whole story. We're going to get to it. Quick
All right.
break
Yeah,
now.
let's talk.
You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Stay with us.
Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, and get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Konrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/InWheelTimeCarTalk.